Captain Tae-woo Kim walked slowly through the market of Helix 9. The alien world was busy today. Creatures of all shapes and sizes moved around him. Some had 6 legs. Others floated above the ground. Many looked at him with curiosity or fear. Humans were still new in space. Most aliens had never seen one before. They called humans Deathworlders because Earth was a hard planet to live on. High gravity, dangerous animals, and tough weather had made humans strong in ways the aliens didn't understand yet. Tae-woo stopped at a small shop to buy some fresh food for his crew. His ship, the Sunrise Voyager, had been in space for 3 months. Everyone was tired of eating the same meals day after day. "How much for these fruits?" he asked the shopkeeper, a green alien with 4 arms. The alien named a high price. Tae-woo didn't argue. He knew the aliens charged humans more. They thought humans were rich and stupid. He paid and put the fruits in his bag. His wrist computer beeped. It was a message from his second-in-command, Ha-nul Park. "Captain, we need you back. At the ship right away." Something in her voice made him worry. Ha-nul was usually calm. She had been with him for 10 years and had seen many dangers in space. If she sounded scared, something was very wrong. "I'm on my way," he said. Tae-woo pushed through the crowded market. He moved faster than most aliens thought possible. Many stared as he ran past them. The human body was built for running long distances. It was one of the gifts Earth had given its children. When he reached the ship, he knew something was wrong right away. The cargo doors were open. Red warning lights flashed. 2 of his crew stood outside with worried faces. Ha-nul ran to meet him. Her black hair was messy and her face was pale. "They took everything, Captain," she said, her voice shaking. "The void gliders came while most of us were in the market. They broke through our security systems like they weren't even there. The void gliders were the worst pirates in this part of space. They moved in the darkness between stars, attacking ships and stations. No one knew what they really looked like. They always wore black suits that hid their bodies." Tae-woo walked into the cargo hold. It was almost empty now. Boxes were thrown around, some were broken open. "What did they take?" he asked, though he already knew the answer. "All the Earth items," Ha-nul said. "The art, the old technology, the special metals, and—" She stopped talking for a moment. "They took the medical supplies for Proxima Centauri B." Tae-woo felt cold fear in his chest. Those medical supplies were for the human colony on Proxima Centauri B. A strange illness was making people sick there. Without the medicine, many would die. "Did anyone see which way they went?" he asked. "No. They were fast and quiet. Our sensors only caught a small energy reading when they jumped to light speed." Tae-woo walked to the control room. He needed to call the Galactic Council. The council was supposed to keep the peace between all space-traveling species. They had rules against piracy. Surely they would help. The call took an hour to connect. When it finally did, 3 alien faces appeared on the screen. One was blue with big eyes. Another looked like a giant insect. The third was a Drozanian, with green skin and tentacles coming from its head. "This is Captain Tae-woo Kim of the Earth, ship Sunrise Voyager," he said. "I need to report a theft by the void gliders. They took important medical supplies meant for a human colony. People will die without those supplies." The blue alien blinked slowly. "Where did this happen?" "Helix 9 in the outer trading zone." The insect-like alien made a clicking sound. "That area is not under our direct control." "But you have rules about piracy," Tae-woo said. "The void gliders broke your laws." The Drozanian moved its tentacles in what might have been a shrug. "Unfortunate," it said in a flat voice. "But humans are still newcomers to the galactic stage. Consider this a lesson in interstellar politics." Tae-woo could not believe what he was hearing. "People will die," he said again. "Many species suffer losses," the blue alien said. "We cannot send forces every time a small theft happens." "Small?" Tae-woo's voice got louder. "The medicine was worth more than our ship." "File a report," the insect alien said. "We will look into it when resources are available." The call ended. Tae-woo stood there, angry and shocked. The council didn't care. To them, humans were just another weak species that needed to learn the hard way how space worked. Hanul came into the room. What did they say? They won't help us, Taewoo answered. We're on our own. She nodded, not surprised. What do we do now, Captain? Taewoo thought for a moment. The Void Gliders didn't know what they had done. They didn't understand what it meant to threaten human lives. They didn't know what humans were capable of when pushed. We call Earth, he said. We tell them everything. The Terran Defense Force needs to know what happened. You think Earth will send help? Hanul asked. We're so far away. They will, Taewoo said with certainty. Not just for us, but for the colony that needs the medicine. Humans take care of their own. He sat down at the communication station and sent a message to Earth. It would take days to reach them, even using the fastest communication technology. But he knew help would come. What the aliens didn't understand was that humans were different. They had evolved on a world that tried to kill them every day. They had survived ice ages and massive animals with sharp teeth. They had climbed to the top of their world not because they were the strongest or fastest, but because they never ever gave up. The Void Gliders had not just stolen cargo. They had threatened human lives, and now they would learn why every species in the galaxy should fear the creatures from the death world called Earth. Taewoo looked at the star map on the big screen. Somewhere out there, the Void Gliders were probably selling his cargo to the highest bidder. They thought they were safe. They were wrong. Prepare the ship, he told Hanul. We're going to track them as far as we can. The Defense Force will need all the information we can give them. Yes, Captain, she said, and there was a new fire in her eyes. The hunt had begun. Special Agent Ji-Woo Yoon sat at her desk in the Terran Defense Force headquarters in Seoul. Rain hit the windows of the tall building. On her screen was a report about a stolen shipment. She read it again, her dark eyes moving quickly over the words. Captain Taewoo Kim's ship had been robbed. The thieves took medicine meant for sick people on a human colony. The space pirates, called Void Gliders, didn't seem to care that people might die without that medicine. Ji-Woo touched the small metal implant behind her ear. It connected her brain directly to the Defense Force computer system. The neural link was military technology, not available to normal citizens. It let her process information faster than any regular human could. Her office door opened. Director Hyun-Sik Choi walked in. He was an older man with gray hair and a serious face. He had fought in the First Contact War 20 years ago, when humans first met aliens. The war had been short but bloody. You've seen the report? He asked. Ji-Woo nodded. Yes. The Galactic Council won't help. No surprise there, Director Choi said with a small laugh. They still think we're just primitive Deathworlders who should be grateful they let us join their precious alliance. Ji-Woo stood up and walked to the window. Below, the city stretched out, its lights glowing in the rain. Humans had come a long way, from stone tools to spaceships in just a few thousand years. But to many alien species, humans were still seen as dangerous animals, barely civilized. We need to get that medicine back, she said. The colony on Proxima. Centauri B needs it. The council won't send anyone, Director Choi said. They say it's too far, too dangerous, not worth the resources. Ji-Woo turned to face him. Then we'll have to show them what Deathworlders are capable of. Director Choi smiled. It was the smile of a predator. I was hoping you'd say that. You have authorization for a recovery operation. Full resources, top priority. Ji-Woo felt a rush of excitement. This was why she had joined the Defense Force. Not just to protect Earth, but to show the galaxy that humans deserved respect. I'll need a team, she said. Small, fast, specialized. Choose whoever you want, Director Choi said. This mission is off the books. The council doesn't need to. No. After the director left, Ji-Woo called up personnel files on her screen. She knew exactly who she needed. First was Sang-Hoon Kang, a tactical genius with a photographic memory. He could read a room in seconds and remember every detail. He had been a chess champion before joining the military. Next was Do-Yeon Lee, an expert in alien technologies. She could hack into almost any system, human or alien. She understood tech that most humans couldn't even look at without getting confused. Last was Yunho Bayek, a former Special Forces operative. His muscles had been enhanced with medical treatments to work better in low gravity. He was stronger and faster than any normal human, especially on alien worlds where the gravity was often weaker than Earth's. Within hours, the team gathered in a secure meeting room. Jiwoo stood before a large screen showing star maps and ship movements. The target is a group of pirates called the Void Gliders, she explained. They stole a shipment of medical supplies from a human transport ship 3 days ago. We believe they're taking it to a black market hub called Umbra Station. I've heard of it, Doyeon said. It orbits a neutron star. Very dangerous place, lots of criminals. Why would they steal medicine? Sang-hoon asked. It's valuable, but there are more valuable things they could have taken. We think they didn't know what they were stealing, Jiwoo said. They probably thought it was just regular cargo. But this medicine is special. It was created to fight a new disease on the human colony. Without it, hundreds of people will die. And the council won't help? Yunho asked, his deep voice filled with anger. No, Jiwoo said. They think it's not their problem. To them, we're just one small species among hundreds. They don't care if some humans on a far colony die. The room was quiet for a moment. Each person thought about what this meant. Humans were alone out here. If they wanted to survive in this big, dangerous galaxy, they had to be strong. So we go get it back ourselves, Yunho said. It wasn't a question. Yes, Jiwoo agreed. We find the Void Gliders, we recover our medicine, and we show the galaxy that you don't steal from humans. What's the plan? Sang-hoon asked. Jiwoo touched her neural implant again and new images appeared on the screen. We'll take a fast ship, unmarked, no weapons that can be easily seen. We'll pose as traders looking to buy exotic goods. Umbra Station doesn't ask questions if you have money. Won't the Void Gliders recognize us as humans? Doyeon asked. Most species can't tell us apart, Jiwoo said. They think all humans look the same. We'll wear hooded cloaks and keep our heads down. We're smaller than most alien species, so they'll just see us as some minor race they don't know. And once we find the medicine? Yunho asked. We try to buy it back first, Jiwoo said. If that doesn't work, we take it. Whatever it takes to get that medicine to the people who need it. Sounds dangerous, Sang-hoon said with a small smile. The kind of mission they say can't be done. That's why we're doing it, Jiwoo replied. Because we're humans. We do the things other species say can't be done. They spent the rest of the day preparing. They studied maps of Umbra Station, learned about the different alien species they might meet, and practiced using their equipment. Their ship was small but fast. It had hidden weapons and shields stronger than they appeared. It was the kind of ship that didn't draw attention. Just another trader in a galaxy full of traders. As they prepared to leave Earth, Jiwoo looked out at the blue planet below them. Humans had almost destroyed this world many times in their history, but they had survived. They had learned. They had grown stronger. Now they were reaching out to the stars, building colonies on new worlds, becoming part of a larger community of intelligent beings. But some lessons from Earth would always be with them. The will to survive, the drive to protect their own, the refusal to give up no matter what. The Void Gliders and their alien clients thought they were safe. They thought humans were weak, just another species to push around. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The human ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel with a flash of blue light. Before them hung Umbra Station, a massive ring-shaped structure that slowly turned around a distant neutron star. The star's deadly radiation would kill any living thing in seconds, but the station used special shields to stay safe. Jiwoo stood on the bridge of their small ship. Through the window, she could see hundreds of other ships coming and going from the station. Some were huge, as big as city blocks. Others were tiny, not much larger than a car. All of them carried people who didn't want to be found. Are you sure the Void Gliders came here? Sang-hoon asked. He stood beside her, studying the station. Jiwoo nodded. Our tracking system followed their energy trail. They stopped here 3 days ago. The medicine is somewhere on that station. How will we find it? Duyan asked. She was checking her small computer, making sure it could connect to alien systems. We start by listening, Jiwoo said. People talk. Even criminals talk. Someone will know something. Their ship approached the station. A bored voice came through the speakers, asking who they were and what they wanted. Traders from the Outer Rim, Jiwoo answered. We have goods to sell and money to spend. There was a pause. Docking fee is 500 credits. Pay now or turn around. Jiwoo sent the money. It was a high price, but that was normal here. Umbra. Station wasn't run by the Galactic Council. It had its own rules, and most of them involved paying money to the right people. Their ship docked at a small bay. As they prepared to leave, Jiwoo gathered her team. Remember, she said, we are not humans here. We are just another alien species looking to trade. Keep your hoods up and your heads down. Speak as little as possible. They all put on long, dark cloaks with deep hoods that hid their faces. Under the cloaks, they wore light body armor and carried small weapons. Not enough to start a war, but enough to stay alive if things went bad. They stepped out onto the station. The air smelled strange, a mix of too many species breathing the same recycled oxygen. The gravity was lighter than Earth, making each step feel like they might float away. But humans were good at adapting. After a few minutes of walking, they moved as if they had lived there all their lives. The main area of the station was a huge open space filled with shops, bars, and trading posts. Aliens of all kinds moved through the crowds. Some walked on many legs, others floated above the ground. A few were so strange that Jiwoo couldn't tell which part was the head and which part was the body. Where do we start? Yunho asked. His voice was quiet, but Jiwoo could tell he was ready for action. His body was tense like a spring ready to snap. We split up, Jiwoo said. Sang-hoon, you check the trading posts. Duyan, see if you can access any of the station's computer systems. Yunho, watch the docking bays. I'll check the bars. People drink, people talk. They separated, each moving into the crowd. Jiwoo walked slowly, listening to conversations, watching the different aliens. Most were larger than her. Some had natural weapons like claws or sharp teeth. But none of them had what humans had, the experience of growing up on a world that tried to kill them every day. Jiwoo found a bar called The Void's Edge. Inside, the lights were dim and the music was loud. Different kinds of aliens sat at tables or stood at the bar. Some were drinking liquids that would kill a human instantly. Others were eating things that still moved. She found a seat in a dark corner and ordered a drink she knew was safe for humans. As she sipped it, she listened to the conversations around her. At first, she heard nothing useful. Just the normal. Talk of a space station. Complaints about prices, stories about close calls with space pirates, gossip about different alien species. Then she heard something interesting. 2 aliens at a nearby table were talking about a big sale that had happened recently. The void gliders made a fortune, one said. It looked like a large insect with blue skin. They sold the whole shipment to Meva for 3 times what it was worth. Meva the collector? The other alien asked. This one had tentacles instead of arms. What does he want with human goods? Who knows? He's crazy about collecting things from all species, especially the dangerous ones. Jiwoo stayed very still. She touched her neural implant, recording everything. She heard, "Where is Meva keeping the human stuff?" the tentacle alien asked. "In his private quarters, I guess. Level 17, North Sector. That whole level belongs to him. No one goes there without an invitation." Jiwoo finished her drink and left some money on the table. She walked out of the bar and contacted her team. "I have something," she said into her small communicator. "Meet me back at the ship." An hour later, they all sat in the small meeting room of their ship. Jiwoo told them what she had learned. "Meva is a Mevarian," Sang-hoon said. "I've heard of him. He's one of the richest collectors in this part of space. He buys rare and dangerous things from all over the galaxy. Does he know what the medicine is for?" Do-yeon asked. "I don't think so," Jiwoo said. "The void gliders probably didn't tell him. They just said it was rare human goods. So now we go to level 17 and get our medicine back," Yunho said. his hand moving to his weapon. It won't be that easy, Jiwoo warned. Meva will have security. We need a plan. They spent the next few hours studying the station's layout. Do-yeon had managed to hack into some of the station's systems. She found maps of level 17. There are guards at every entrance, she said, pointing to the map. And security cameras everywhere. Meva's private quarters are in the center behind 3 sets of locked doors. Can we hack the locks? Jiwoo asked. Do-yeon shook her head. Not from here. We'd need to be at each door to hack it. What about the air ducts? Sang-hoon suggested. We're smaller than most alien species. We might fit where they can't go. Good idea, Jiwoo said. Do-yeon, can you find the air duct system for level 17? Do-yeon worked on her computer for a few minutes. Got it, she said finally. There's a maintenance access point on level 16. We could climb up from there. Then that's our plan, Jiwoo said. We go in through the air ducts, find Meva's collection room, get the medicine, and get out. Quick and quiet. As they prepared their equipment, Jiwoo felt a familiar feeling. It was the feeling of the hunt. Humans had been hunters for most of their history. They had chased animals across wide plains, following tracks for days without rest. That ancient instinct was still inside every human. The patience to wait, the determination to follow, the will to catch their prey. Now they were hunting again. Not for food, but for something just as important. The medicine that would save human lives. The aliens who had taken it were about to learn an important lesson about humans. When they set their minds on a goal, they didn't stop until they reached it, no matter what stood in their way. The maintenance access point on level 16 was in a quiet hallway. Few aliens walked here. Most of the rooms were used for storage. This was good for the human team. They needed no one to see them. Jiwoo checked her small computer. The guards, change in 5 minutes, that's when we move. They waited in silence. Humans were good at waiting. On Earth, hunters would sometimes wait for hours without moving, watching for animals to come close. This patience was in their blood. When the time came, Do-yeon used her hacking tool on the door. It opened with a soft hiss. Inside was a small room with many pipes and control panels. In the ceiling was a square metal cover. That's our way in, Jiwoo said, pointing up. Yoon-ho, the strongest of them, lifted each person up to the opening. Then he jumped and pulled himself up, showing the strength that came from his enhanced muscles. The air duct was narrow. Most alien species would never fit inside. But humans were smaller, and they could move in ways many aliens could not. They crawled on hands and knees, moving quietly through the metal tunnels. Sang-hoon led the way, using his perfect memory of the map. Left here, he whispered. Then right at the next turn. Meva's quarters should be directly above us soon. The Loi. Air in the ducts was hot and stale. Sweat ran down their faces. But they kept moving. On Earth, humans had evolved to be good at sweating. It helped them run long distances in the hot sun, chasing animals until the animals fell from heat and tired muscles. This ability to handle discomfort and keep going was another gift from their death world. After 20 minutes of crawling, Sang-hoon stopped. We're here, he said. Meva's collection room should be below us. Jiwoo looked through a small vent in the bottom of the duct. Below was a large room filled with display cases. Inside the cases were objects from many worlds. Some looked like weapons. Others were pieces of art. A few were things Jiwoo couldn't even recognize. I don't see any guards, she whispered. There might be hidden security, Do-yeon warned. Let me check. She used a small device to scan the room below. There are motion sensors, she said after a moment, and heat detectors, but no guards. Meva must think his locked doors are enough. Can you disable the sensors? Jiwoo asked. Do-yeon nodded. For a short time, maybe 5 minutes. That's all we need. Yoon-ho, get the vent open. Yoon-ho used a small tool to loosen the screws holding the vent. He worked carefully, making no sound. When the last screw came out, he lifted the vent and set it aside. Do-yeon activated her device. Sensors are down, she whispered. 5 minutes starting now. Jiwoo went first, dropping smoothly into the room. The others followed. They moved, quickly checking each display case for the medicine. Here, Sang-hoon called softly. I found it. They all went to where he stood. Inside a glass case were several boxes with Earth writing on them, the medicine they had come to find. How do we open it? Yoonho asked, looking at the case. It had no visible lock or handle. Allow me, Do-yeon said. She ran her fingers along the edge of the case, feeling for hidden controls. Here. She pressed a spot on the side and the top of the case slid open. Just as they were about to take the medicine, lights suddenly came on in the room. A door they hadn't seen before opened and a tall figure walked in. It was Meva. He looked like a human made of crystal. His skin sparkled in the light, and his eyes were like two blue gems. He wore expensive clothes covered in small jewels. Well, he said in a smooth voice, what do we have here? Thieves in my private collection? How interesting. Jiwoo stood straight and faced him. We're not thieves. We're taking back what was stolen from us. Meva tilted his head. The human medicine? Is that what you want? He smiled, showing teeth that looked like small diamonds. I paid good money for those. They're mine now. People will die without this medicine, Jiwoo said. It was made for a human colony where a disease is spreading. That's not my problem, Meva said. But now I'm curious. What species are you? You're quite small. Jiwoo pushed back her hood, showing her human face. The others did the same. Meva's eyes widened. Humans? Here? How amusing. Did you really think 4 soft-bodied creatures from a backwater planet could challenge me in my domain? Jiwoo smiled. You forget where we come from. On Earth, we were never the strongest, never the fastest. We survived by being the most adaptable, the most tenacious, and she touched her neural implant, sending a signal to her team, the most willing to sacrifice for our people. At her signal, Do-yeon activated a device on her belt. The temperature in the room began to rise quickly. Sweat broke out on Jiwoo's face, but she ignored it. Humans could handle heat better than many alien species. Meva's crystal body began to glisten more as the heat rose. What? What are you doing? He asked, his smooth voice now shaking. Mevarians evolved on a cold world, Jiwoo said. Heat makes your crystal body start to expand. Not comfortable, is it? Meva reached for a control panel on the wall, but Yoonho moved faster than the alien thought possible. In the lighter, gravity. His enhanced muscles let him leap across the room in a single bound. He grabbed Meva's arm, holding it away from the controls. You're so strong, Meva said in surprise. How can you be so strong? You're half my size. Earth has higher gravity than most worlds, Yoonho explained. Makes our muscles work harder just to move around. Here, in your light gravity, we're much stronger than we look. While Yoonho held Meva, Sang-hoon and Jiwoo gathered the medicine boxes. Do-yeon watched the door, making sure no guards were coming. You won't get away with this, Meva said. I have guards, many guards. We know, Jiwoo said. But they're outside your rooms, not inside. You value your privacy too much. That was your mistake. As the heat continued to rise, Meva's movements became slower. His crystal body was having trouble with the temperature. Take the medicine and go, he said finally. Just stop this heat before it damages me. Jiwoo nodded to Do-yeon, who turned. Off her device, the temperature began to drop. I could have you all killed, Meva said. One word from me and every guard on this station would hunt you down. You could, Jiwoo agreed. But you won't, because now you know what humans are capable of. We came into your most secure place and took what we wanted. Imagine what we could do if we really wanted to hurt you. Meva was silent for a moment. Then he laughed. It was a sound like small bells ringing. I have lived for 300 years, he said. I have collected items from 1,000 worlds. But I have never met a species quite like yours. You are small yet dangerous, weak yet strong. We're humans, Jiwoo said simply. We come from a world that tried to kill us every day, We learned to survive. Meva nodded slowly. Take your medicine. Consider it a gift from me to your people. Go before I change my mind. The team gathered the medicine boxes and moved back toward the air duct. Yunho jumped up first, then helped pull the others up. Jiwoo was the last to go. Before she climbed up, she looked back at Meva. Thank you, she said. Meva waved a crystal hand. Don't thank me, he said. Just remember that I let you go. One day perhaps I will need a favor from the Deathworlders. Jiwoo nodded and climbed into the air duct. They had what they came for. Now they just needed to get back to their ship and leave Umbra Station before anyone could stop them. The hunt was over. The prey was caught. Now it was time to go home. The human team moved quickly through the air ducts carrying the boxes of medicine. They needed to reach their ship before anyone noticed the medicine was gone. Sang-hoon led the way, using his perfect memory to guide them back. Almost there, he whispered. The access point should be just ahead. They reached the opening where they had entered. Yunho went first, jumping down into the maintenance room below. He checked that no one was there, then signaled for the others to follow. One by one, they dropped down from the ceiling. Jiwoo came last, carefully closing the vent cover behind her. They had made it this far without setting off any alarms. Now they just needed to get back to their ship. They moved through the hallways of the station, keeping their hoods up. The medicine boxes were hidden in bags under their cloaks. No one would know what they were carrying. We should split up, Jiwoo said. We'll draw less attention. Meet at the ship. They took different paths back to the docking bay. Jiwoo walked, alone, moving steadily but not too fast. Running would draw attention. She passed aliens of many kinds, but none of them looked at her twice. She was just another small alien in a big station. When she reached the docking bay, she saw Sang-hoon and Do-yeon already waiting near their ship. A moment later, Yunho appeared from another direction. They had all made it. They boarded their ship quickly. Do-yeon went straight to the controls and started the engines. Sang-hoon secured the medicine boxes while Yunho checked for any signs they were being followed. No alarms, he reported. I think we're clear. Jiwoo nodded. Good. Let's get out of here before that changes. Their ship pulled away from the docking bay. Jiwoo expected to hear angry voices on the communication system any second, ordering them to stop. But there was only silence. Meva had kept his word. He was letting them go. As they moved away from Umbra Station, Jiwoo finally allowed herself to relax. We did it, she said. We got the medicine back. That was too easy, Yunho said, looking suspicious. Why would Meva just let us go? I don't think it was easy for him, Jiwoo said. We showed him something he didn't expect. We showed him that humans are not to be underestimated. His pride was hurt, but his curiosity was stronger. He wants to see what humans will do next. The ship accelerated, preparing to jump to faster than light speed. Just before they made the jump, a message came through on their communication system. Interesting meeting you, Deathworlders. It was Meva's voice. Perhaps we'll see each other again someday. Next time I'll be better prepared. Jiwoo smiled. And so will we, she said, though she knew Meva couldn't hear her. The ship jumped to faster than light, and Umbra Station disappeared behind them. They were on their way home. 2 weeks later, Captain Tae-woo Kim stood on the surface of Proxima Centauri b. The human colony was a small group of buildings surrounded by alien trees with purple leaves. The sky was a strange orange color, nothing like Earth's blue. But humans were here making a new home on this distant world. The medicine has been distributed to all the sick people, the colony doctor told him. Already they're starting to get better. You saved many lives, Captain. Tae-woo nodded. It wasn't just me. The Terran Defense Force did what the Galactic Council wouldn't do. Will there be trouble with the Council? The doctor asked. They don't like humans taking matters into their own hands. There already is trouble, Tae-woo said. They've called a special meeting. They want to talk about what happened. Later that day, Tae-woo received a message. The Galactic Council was requesting that he and Agent Ji Woo-yoon attend a meeting on their central station. It was not a request they could refuse. When they arrived at the council station 3 days later, they were led to a large round room. The 3 council members sat on high chairs, looking down at them. Many other aliens stood around the edges of the room, watching. Captain Tae-woo Kim and Special Agent Ji-woo Yoon, the Blue Alien Council member, said, "You stand accused of breaking council law. You conducted an unauthorized mission to recover stolen goods. You entered restricted areas of Umbra Station. You threatened a private citizen." "We recovered medicine that was stolen from us," Ji-woo said. "Medicine that was needed to save human lives. We asked the council for help, and you refused." "That is not the point," the insect-like council member clicked. "The point is that you acted without our permission. Humans must learn to follow the rules of galactic society." "What rules?" Tae-woo asked, his voice strong. "The rules that say it's okay for pirates to steal from humans. The rules that say human lives matter less than other species. Those are not fair rules." The room was quiet. Many of the watching aliens seemed uncomfortable. The Drozanian council member moved its tentacles slowly. "We have misjudged your species," it said finally. "We saw your physical form and assumed weakness. We failed to recognize that evolution on a death world creates strength beyond the physical." "Humans don't want special treatment," Ji-woo said. "We just want to be treated fairly like any other species in the galaxy." "Perhaps," the Blue Alien said, "we need to reconsider how we view Deathworlders. Your planet has created a species that is resourceful, determined, and more capable than we assumed. We will draft a new treaty," the insect alien said, "one that acknowledges humanity's right to protect its interests across the galaxy." After the meeting, news of what had happened spread quickly through the galaxy. The story of how a small team of humans had outsmarted the Void Gliders and gotten their medicine back was told in many spaceports and on many worlds. The Void Gliders, having learned a painful lesson about stealing from humans, began avoiding Earth ships entirely. They found that other prey was easier and less dangerous. As for Ji-woo and her team, they became the start of a new Terran diplomatic security force, specialists trained to protect human interests in space while dealing with the complex galaxy of different alien species. "They call us Deathworlders like it's an insult," Ji-woo told a class of new recruits months later. "But it's our greatest strength. We survived a planet that tried to kill us in 1,000 different ways. That persistence, that adaptability, that refusal to surrender, that's what makes us human." And across the galaxy, a new saying began to spread among spacefaring species. "Take what you will from the void, but never steal from a Deathworlder." For the first time, humans were not just seen as newcomers to the galactic stage. They were seen as equals. Different, yes. Smaller than many, yes. But worthy of respect. The Deathworlders had earned their place among the stars.